Hi everyone, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life, and a very happy new year if you're back and working. Yeah, sorry about that. It's it's tricky, isn't it, getting back into the swing of things after Christmas. Today I want to talk about self-care because I don't know about you, but I don't know how everybody's New Year's resolutions are going, but if you're anything like me, I find January a really, really hard time to make lasting changes. It's right after Christmas when we all have been, well, I've particularly been overindulging and curled up on the sofa a little bit too much. Maybe that was just me. Drinking too much, eating too much, the usual. It's also cold and grey, and most of us are probably just feeling exhausted and a little bit flat. January. So for me, this time of year is not a time for radical change, deprivation, or extreme exercise. It's actually a much better time for nourishment, for nurturing and replenishing, because our hormones have been through the mill over the holidays. So we really want to get back and give them a bit of love. So why don't we instead resolve to practice some self-care? Now, in our busy, manic lives, self-care is not only important, it's absolutely essential. Sometimes we see it as a luxury or a treat, like a spa weekend or whatever. But if we don't look after ourselves on a daily basis, we're not going to be good for anybody. And, you know, worse, we can end up just burnt out and not being able to do a thing. Now, self-care, like I said, has different meanings for different people. Some people see it as like a holiday or a spa day or having a massage or sitting in a bath with candles. Yes, all of that is lovely self-care, but I'm looking at caring for your whole self. So that means looking at what will nourish you generally and replenish you. So here are my top self-care tips for January. These are the ones that I like to do anyway. First one is to start saying no. This is so difficult for many of us women. We say yes to people, we like to please everyone, we want to look after everyone, we're lovely people, but it actually doesn't serve us in the long run to say yes to everyone and try and please everyone. We can't, can we, anyway? And the more we say yes and do things for other people, the more run down we get, and you know, it's just, we're then no good for anyway. So start to say no, and what I like to do is go through my calendar and look at any things that I've said yes to in a rush, in a hurry, because somebody's asking me, and it feels, I feel bad if I don't say yes, and then cross them out and actually delete some of these things and cancel them. So if you've got anything like that in your calendar or your diary that you can say no to, that maybe there are people that not in your close circle, your family or friends, but you said yes because you feel like you should, then that's something that you need to cancel. So go through and get really clear on your boundaries. Number 2 is drink enough water. Now, probably every video I'll say this, because as we get older, we lose our thirst response as well. So I can go all day, have a cup of coffee in the morning, and I can go all day without drinking anything, and then realise that around 6 o'clock that I'm not even thirsty then, but I will just realise that I haven't had anything to drink all day. And, you know, it's really, really bad for us not to do that. So I try and keep a bottle of water on my desk or something every time I get up and have a break. Go and grab a glass of water. Obviously, herbal teas and coffee and teas kind of do count, and food counts as well. You'll get some water from your food. But it's such a very basic thing that we just forget about. So we must keep hydrated because it'll keep everything going. Thirdly, try and start your day with a nourishing smoothie, not a detox thing or, you know, something that tastes really good. We want more veg than fruit in there, because the more fruit you've got, the more sugar you've got going in. So I've got a lovely protein berry smoothie that I really like, and it's really popular for our 30-day program. And I can pop a link to that under the video if you'd like that. But, you know, really good to start your day that way. It'll balance your blood sugar, keep you full, give you some nutrients, especially if you've got some greens powder or some sort of superfoods in there. That would be great. Fourth, get out into nature. So one of the best things we can do for looking after ourselves and replenishing is to get out into nature. Walking really helps too. And if you're walking out in the woods or in the fields, you've got the beauty and the replenishing nature to really get your mood changed and get you energized. It is amazing for me if I'm ever feeling stressed or need a state change, I literally will go across to my fields and go for a walk, and I come back and I just feel completely different. It's a real game changer. Number 5, and this is something I try and do whenever I can, is to block out your holidays for the year. So even if you haven't got any plans to go away, block out your time now so that you can book that in later. Because sometimes if you don't block it out, things happen, you say yes to things that you can't get out of, and then suddenly you find out that you just don't have any time to actually go away and have breaks. And it's so important to do that. Number 6 is booking some coffee or lunch dates with friends or family or whoever you want to go and have coffee and lunch with. It's so important, especially if you work on your own or you've got you know, a busy job, and you know, you can go and relax with some friends. Laughter and friendship, so important for self-care. Number 7 is to find a yoga class. Now, yoga is absolutely great. Most people can do yoga, whether you like it or not. And the reason you probably haven't liked it in the past is because you haven't found the right class or the right teacher. Because you know, you can often go to a class and it's too hard, or you feel pressured, or you feel like you're in a competition, or you just feel like you can't do it. And if your teacher's not great at showing you the way, then you're going to be put off. But don't be put off. Try and find something. If you're a woman over 40, yoga is fantastic exercise. It is strength, it's flexibility, it's breathing, it's mindfulness. And you need to be it really does build up your muscles too, which is fantastic. So, but not in a big pumpy way. Find a yoga class locally if you can. Online, there are some really good ones as well. I'm currently doing yoga with Adrian, her 30-day free challenge, which is fantastic, especially for beginners, because she goes right down to basics. Really, really good. So just there's tons around those. So just try and find one if you can. It's really good for us, especially for that cortisol. Number 8, following on from that, is the breath, breathing. Now, when we're stressed and we're busy, we shallow breathe. So what's really useful for us to do is to deep breathe a few times a day. So I use the 5-5-5 method. So you breathe in for 5 through the belly. So stick that belly out. Don't worry about pulling it in. If you want to be on your own to do this, that's fine. But stick it out, breathe through the belly for 5, hold for 5, and then breathe out for 5. And if you can do that a few times a day, or even just once or twice a day, you'll just be telling your body to switch off that stress response, bring down the cortisol, and you're going to feel so much just more energized, more balanced, and calmer. So if you've had a stressful meeting or an argument or whatever, it's a really good thing to do right after that. Also before sleep, before bed, so that you can just relax everything. Number 9 is to up your veggies. Now, I'm sure you're all doing this anyway, because most of the women I talk to eat loads of veggies. So that's brilliant. But what I would say is try and vary them a bit. So, you know, if you're just eating a few varieties, then, you know, make it an experiment. See if you can up your diversity of vegetables, because that's what your gut bacteria absolutely love. They love getting different vegetables in, seasonal if possible, organic if possible, best quality, but just diverse. So it's always useful to get one of those organic boxes, because, you know, they'll give you stuff that you probably wouldn't buy in the supermarket, and then you can try things out. And if you don't know what to do with something, I just bung it in a soup. It's brilliant. And lastly, we mustn't forget about sleep. Now, I don't know about you, but I spent the most of Christmas lying in till 9 o'clock in the morning and getting lots and lots of deep quality sleep, which was absolutely lovely. So I know a lot of you struggle with sleep, and it's not that easy to get quality sleep. But watch a few of my videos on sleep, or look at my blog on sleep, and just see if you're doing all the tips in there about sleep hygiene before you go to bed, and if you're taking, you know, the right supplements, etc., because they can really, really help. So sleep, so important. Make sure you're getting enough of it. So these are just a few ideas to get you started on your self-care plan. What I really, really would love you to do is actually make a plan for yourself, for your own self-care needs, from whatever you need for your own self-care, because everybody's so different, and just make sure you try and stick to it. It's so important. If you don't prioritize it, life gets in the way, and you know, you just end up, it goes to the bottom of the list, and we never get to the bottom of our list, do we? So really, really, really important. If you need any personal help with anything at all, we're always here. You can book in a discovery call, and we can speak to you about your plans. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.